Good morning, Brownsville. Good afternoon, good evening, depending on when you are watching this feed. If this is your first time here, welcome. My name is Frankie Olivo. Our program focuses on talking about the very important issues that are happening within our city and our community. Our platform is currently being streamed um, on Facebook and on YouTube. If you haven't already, we encourage you to go to YouTube, create an account, and subscribe. We could be found under Frankie Olivo TV. We come on every day, Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. Happy Wednesday, chat. Happy Hump Day. Man, it seems as if these past few days has been something out of a movie. Grand Theft Auto 6, Brownsville, Texas version. There's never a dull day in the city of Brownsville. The interesting thing is that I feel as if the tides are turning. People who perhaps weren't vocal at one time are now being vocal. Outcries are being made. People want justice. The city of Brownsville has seen its fair share of people in leadership positions taking advantage, looking a blind eye, not being or not doing things in the best interests of our children, our family, our community. It's important for us to recognize and address these important issues. If you tuned in to yesterday's program, where we talked about what we're going to be presenting to round off the week, we posed the question, chat, why me? Why is it me who doesn't have the resources, who's not on the board, who's not a principal, who's not a superintendent, who's not an administrator? Why is it me and pages, social media pages, Susan for the People, Brownsville Hood News? Why is it us that are sharing this information? What really bothers me is that people have been lying to you. They've been telling you that they will be the gatekeepers for our city. And this example that we're going to be discussing tomorrow and Friday, the school board. It is very telling when not one has made a peep. Have we heard of any statements being made? The school district, submitted a quasi press release, I guess, but somebody did correct me and they said, "Oh no," because everybody questioned, "Oh, it's not being signed," and da 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 da. And somebody kind of educated me and said, "Oh no, it's because it's I don't know." But you and I can agree, we don't trust people in leadership. Do you think that your kids are being protected? As a parent, you always think that individuals that hold these roles of educators, of school board members, well, I'm sure they're parents too, and they share similar concerns, such as we have. But we will show, we will present information on Thursday and Friday that shows that this is a systematic error. Hey, and by the way, happy birthday, Sam. Um, Hope you have a great day, my man. Thank you for tuning in. I just want to let you know that I appreciate you, and I hope you have a good day with your loved ones. Um, Thank you so much, man. I hope you have a good one. Why is it that on the 11th, 12th hour, when the volcano is already erupting, that now it's an issue? What bothers me is that people in the know, people with access, people that could have snipped this in the butt, they didn't do anything. And that is what's shocking. What's even shocking to me is there are 25 people that are vouching, that are trying to get the board majority or the board's support to fill the former board president's seat. Have you heard any of them make a statement? Shame on you. Isn't this what you're fighting for? Isn't this what you're promising us? That you will be our voice on that school board, that you will take Erasmo Castro's seat, and you will do everything you're possible to make sure that our students are safe, that our staff is protected, that they are not being belittled by higher ups. Isn't that what you promise the community? Ladies and gentlemen, 25 people have applied to be your representative for the city of Brownsville on the school board. Have you heard of any of them? Why is that? It's very telling. Have you heard of the board members say something, make a statement? People go say, oh, well, it's a chain of command. It has to come from, BISD as a, nah, screw that. We're dealing with very serious issues. And if you think that this is a once in a lifetime thing where, oops, it happens, it fell through the cracks. No, ladies and gentlemen, we will be presenting information that this was an ongoing issue, that we do have a problem. We do have a problem. At Rivera High School. There is issues that need to be addressed. But you have people that don't want to make waves. I just want to sit in, look pretty, take advantage of me being on the board. I'll coast it, get a few benefits here and there. But when it comes to election time, oh no, I'm going to fight and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And where are you? Why aren't you making a fuss about this? Would the same response be given by those leaders and those people in leadership positions if it was their child, if it was their relative? Why me, chat? We spoke about yesterday how board members have access. Administrators are able to ask those questions, investigate, look into these things. But they don't. Now, we take our role very seriously. And people may ridicule us and mock us and say, oh, what are you doing? No, people are listening. People are tuning in. While the mainstream media is focusing on birds and tariffs and no. Let's deal with the important matters. Our platform that you could support and be part of the cause is about asking those tough questions. We're here to present the good, the bad, and unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, the ugly, because we have people that aren't willing to do so. It's embarrassing for me to receive messages from people that say, hey, you're onto something, or hey, what Susan for the People is posting, she's onto something. Hey, that Brownsville Hood News post that they made, they're onto something. What is it that we're facing with? We're going to show a pattern of a hostile environment at Rivera High School, Tucker. We're going to talk about individuals that could have addressed these issues that affected the livelihoods of personnel, school employees, but most importantly, that could have addressed these allegations of sexual assault. And again, I do not find no joy in this. You may think that, you know, that I want to bash these people. On the contrary, I want to talk about butterflies and, oh, the world is so beautiful. Mira, Brosville está bien bonito. But I don't get a chance to. I want to talk about sports. I want to talk about, you know, President Trump in Saudi Arabia and the $600 billion agreement that we got into. But I'm forced to address these serious allegations since our representatives aren't doing that. We're going to show how it's everybody's pointing fingers at each other. Why is that? Because all eyes are on Rivera High School. And many people are talking about things that either they saw, that they experienced during their tenure at the high school, of what their friends told them. And it's shocking. And students are left at bay. Fend for yourselves. Lily Vick, is this an excuse that they're short-staffed and, oh, well, we can't address that issue? I'm sorry. No. We have heard people have posted on the platforms and stated, I went through this, my spouse went through this, my child went through this, and nothing was done. You've all heard of it. When's the last time, chat? Correct me if I'm wrong. Again, I'm open to suggestions. That they're doing this on purpose? That's not an excuse for individuals to turn a blind eye. The excuse being given that the reason what's happening at Rivera, according to the press release that BISD released, was that they were being moved, people were being transferred because of X's and O's, because of wins and losses. Yeah, we hear what the community is saying about something happening, but no. This is the reason. Do you trust them? Again, people have posted about their loved ones. We've heard of instances where educators, students have been caught in compromising positions. And even like that, nothing gets done to them. Is this a case where it's not only Rivera, but now we find out about Hannah as well? Our focus for these next 2 days will be Rivera, because that is the most damning story. We'll be talking about this more in detail. because people are fed up. Employees, people thought that certain board members, once they came into office, that there wasn't going to be this, oh, I'm on the board and I control, and it's still the same. Your knight in shining armor that you thought was fighting for you, that posts and says, oh, no, is part of the problem. You might be shocked by it, but I'm not. Because it's all about ego. It's all about power to these individuals. What happens in the outside, pues ni modo. Cada quien que se la busque. Is there an excuse for this, Sierra? That, oh, you know what, they're overstaffed, and oh, you know what, no, it wasn't because of what people are posting. No, we understand that the commute. No. What? Shouldn't be people fired? Shouldn't people be placed on administrative leave pending investigations? Why, Lily Vick, isn't the media covering this? If it were us, we'd be in jail and on the news. And BISD just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. We all know of individuals that have shared their experiences, that possibly have been victims themselves. Have you heard of them being arrested? When's the last time we heard of something like this happening, chat? Again, do you think this is out of the blue? Do you think this is something that doesn't happen? No. BISD has a history of, how we like to say, sweeping things under the rug. We're dealing with a very powerful entity. $500 million. Smell that money. You think they want the bad press? No, it is not in their convenience to be that way. Again, we're losing students at a rapid pace. We're competing with the likes of charter schools. Elon Musk is going to open a school. You think it's in our best interest to be in the news? Again, chat, do we have a problem at our school district? We're going to say yes. And Rivera is going to be the thing que revienta todo. Information is being presented to us that is not good. It's damning. It's despicable. Because at the end of the day, we've been lied to, and we continue to get lied to. Again, where are those 25 wannabe board members? Why haven't they made a statement? They want to fill Erasmo's shoes as being their next representative? Why aren't they talking about it? Why is it me, chat? Again, I'll take it on the chin with a smile on my face, doggy. Vámonos. What those individuals aren't willing to do, nosotros damos la cara. We don't hide behind fake Facebook pages. We stand in front of my community. And I tell you what, yeah, I send a D pic. You want to crucify me? Here are the nails. But after you crucify me, I want you to make a stink about what's happening. I want you to make a stink about these allegations. Because at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, these are children. These individuals are still trying to learn the ways of life. They're still developing physically and mentally. And for them to be groomed, for them to be taken out that way is not right. So again, we will proudly take this head on. I don't care what you think of me. I don't care about my past. You may want to talk about que estoy feo, que estoy prieto, que estoy pobre. Conmigo, ni pex. But we will talk about these issues. If board members do not want to talk about it, if those so-called 25 wannabe school board members don't want to talk about it, we will. We'll talk about it. And if this causes us to gain hate, for us to be mocked and ridiculed, no pasa nada. It's okay. Because I'd rather go down fighting for what's right. And you may laugh and say, ay, pobre vato, que trae el moral. Estamos bien cuadrados. We're good at what we do. We're passionate about what we do. We have the support of the community. Again, I wake up at 4:30 in the morning, and it motivates me to get these messages from former students and say, hey, you're onto something. There is something there. Again, you may want to throw crap my way. It's okay. I love competition. I don't back down from a fight. And if I lose, I'll bitch, I'll cry, I'll get back up, y otro tiro. No pasa nada, dog. We can't be scared of individuals that are wanting to sue. Does he not know who I am? Do you not know who I am? Allegations are being made that what people are saying is real. Now, again, you may not like the messenger, but the message is still the same. You may think in your heart that I'm targeting people, that I'm focusing on a certain group of people to get kicks, to get laughs. Hombre, that's not what this is about. This is about addressing important issues. Why? Because your school board won't talk about it. Because those 25 individuals that have submitted their names to represent you to take over Erasmo Castro's seat, they're not talking about it. Shame on them, each and every one of them. Screw them. I said it, screw them, each and every one of them. I happen to be friends with some of them. Screw them. Talk about it. You want to represent the city of Brownsville? Talk about it. Why don't we talk about it? Because we don't want to make waves. Ay, no quiero que se enoje la gente. Ay, what are they going to say about me? No. Mira, me quedo calladito y así me miro más bonito. And I want to represent, yes, I want to represent BISD, and I care, and I fight, and I want. This is your opportunity, ladies and gentlemen. Show the community what's up. Man up. Amarrase un huevo. People want fighters. People want individuals that are going to go down in their shield. That's what I want. I'm not here for a long time, just a good time, baby. I want to go down, and I want my name to be remembered forever. Mira, ese vato, no, hombre, estaba tremendo. Siempre nos daba contra. Siempre. Este vato, mira, I don't want to be a pushover. I don't want to be somebody that says, oh, well, we'll see what happens. No. Let's take what's ours. Now, again, we have been receiving a lot of heat because of what we represent. And look, ladies and gentlemen, I am very aware of what I'm doing. I have come to the realization, again, you may laugh, you may criticize me, but I have come to the realization that for every rock that I throw, 10 will be thrown my way. I'm okay with that. I try to keep my life as private as possible because I don't want them to receive that hate. it's kind of hard, but I try to protect them as much as possible because I know they're going to throw crap my way. Again, what resources do I have compared to the likes of BISD, to the likes of the city of Brownsville, to the county, to the port? My resources don't compare to theirs. But you know what? With a camera and with a mic, I'm causing waves. I am going to show you that your representatives in office aren't doing what's told. Yesterday we did come across somebody that reached out to us, and they did state that all this that was happening at Rivera is something that is known by administrators, by individuals that are there. It is no secret that this is going on. We posted new information allegations that students at Rivera are creating a Cash App / fundraiser to bail out former coaches Trujillo and Macias, who is directing the students to do this. Another coach? During the AOBE forum in the past elections, Farley Trevino commented that the unions helped him get out of trouble for being accused of having an inappropriate relationship with a female student. They posed a question to me. Is the athletic department at Rivera full of PDLs? Will something ever get done? Seems to be a big problem stemming for years. They go on to say, thanks, Frankie, for being our voice. Again, this isn't me who's making these things up. You think it's me who wants to bash these people? You think it's me that wants to present this information? And remember, I am handsome and totally not fat. You think it's me that's wanting to bring up these accusations and these allegations that are looking bad? No, I don't want to talk about it. And what does idiot do? Frank Olivo, liable, refers to defamatory statements that are written or published. Be careful, Frank. Please share. You idiot. You want to sue me for what? My 2 pennies and my laptop? Well, I will fight you for the laptop. Sue me, bro. El que trae, no dice. El bueno no dice que es bueno. Here in Texas, people don't tell you they have a firearm. I have a firearm and I'm going to use it. No, if they feel threatened, they use it. Don't be threatening people to sue. Sue me. What, now that it's embarrassing for your family? Now that it's embarrassing for the 20, 30, 40 years that you had at the district, that you're being accused of something and you want to sue me? Estás loco. Bring it on, papa. Again, everything I present, I have facts. Sanchez, no pasa nada. No pasa nada. But what are you going to sue me for, Farley? What are you going to sue me for? For somebody posting on the comment that's saying that these allegations are true? And that she's more than sure that there are others who experienced it, but they don't want to come forward? You're going to sue me for that? Idiot. Go ahead, sue me. You're going to make me more famous. Oh, now it's embarrassing for you, Farley, right? Now, oh, defamation. Somebody please share. Cállate el hocico, you idiot. And look, you think I'm joking? You think this is me that's posting this? She goes on to say, I know he knows who I am. I've remained quiet, but now with my kids, I won't. None of my former classmates, some who are teachers themselves, probably won't talk about it. but they know as well. Again, you're going to sue me for what? For someone accusing you? And look, this idiot went on the AOBE Politic Forum and he stated, oh, well, this union, I don't know if it was AOBE or a teachers union, helped me get out of an allegation that I had. Idiot, you incriminated yourself. Idiota. You thought you were going to get the will of the people by saying that? You idiot. My gosh. Who got this guy to run? Carlos, was it you? No, hombre, papá. Te fueras conseguido otro mejor. Farley can't. He's a tool. Estaba así en el forum. Oh, well, I think that my three position will be. Nah, hombre. Imagine if he would have won. Imagine the press. A sitting board member. That would have been crazy. But again, why do these people resort to this type of rhetoric that, oh, I'm going to sue you? Because that's the common theme at BISD. Intimidation. They try to scare people. No digas nada. If you say something, I'll hurt you. You think I'm joking? You think people didn't reach out to me from Rivera that we're going to talk about because they're scared about their livelihoods, because they're worried about their job? People know. But here you want to say, oh, please share, me está defamando el guy. Nah, hombre, vato, you're doing it to yourself, homeboy. But you want to sue me. Llévate los dos pesos que tengo. No pasa nada. But again, ladies and gentlemen, why? Because the culture at Rivera was like that, was hostile in nature, was volatile, was an environment that was full of And this isn't something that happened last year, this year. This is something that's been going on for what I could calculate it 10 years from what I've heard, possibly more. But again, we only go off of what we're able to prove because that's my job. Again, I'm not here going to present to you with what I think. No, this isn't what I think. You think I invented that? You think I invented that about Farley? No, not at all. It's interesting because victims get to a certain point where they say, enough is enough. Hinojosa, the truth comes from our children's mouths. All of it. All of it is true. Why is it? Why is it that we attack the messenger and not the message? It's very telling, chat. Again, I am pissed off. You want to represent Erasmo Castro on that board and you're not willing to speak up on this? Shame on you. Erasmo Castro would be going, no, hombre, he'd be going crazy. But what does that say? Silence speaks volumes, ladies and gentlemen. It really does. And again, how does a district handle this? No, hombre. They should have done something. They should have done like something in it would have been better if they released a they should have just released a coloring book picture or something. No, hombre, se salen. Look what the district says, ladies and gentlemen. Again, this is something that has been transpiring. What I can calculate, 10 years. And this is their statement. In response to recent community concerns, the Brownsville Independent School District would like to clarify that the recent administrative reassignments involving members of Rivera coaching staff are entirely independent of any allegations or its ongoing investigations. Personnel decisions are made routinely through established procedures that prioritize transparency, whatever, fairness, whatever, and in the best interest of the students, whatever. BISD remains dedicated to handling matters, whatever, all matters with the utmost professionalism, whatever, and in strict accordance with district policies and state laws, whatever. While the district is unable to comment on specific personnel issues or ongoing investigations, we want to assure the community that the safety, well-being, and education of our students remain our highest priority. Do you believe that? Yes, we will be naming names. Heck, we already named Farley with proof. Farley supposedly is at Perkins for assistant principal, or they gave him a cushy job, I guess, for doing what he's told. I don't know. Will the board maybe want to take into consideration that there's an allegation on Mr. Farley Trevino made by someone else, not Frank Olivo? And that individual said, he knows who I am. Again, is it me that's saying it? No. He knows who I am. I've remained quiet, but now with my kids, I won't. That is what we hear from individuals that have been victimized, that have been taken advantage of. It comes a point to they say, I need this escape. I need this to get out of my system. Somebody needs to hear this. Somebody needs to talk about this. Again, why me, chat? Why me? We're very fortunate. Again, I'm very fortunate and I'm very thankful, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very thankful that individuals give me the benefit of the doubt, and they confide in me these issues. I was always very proud of my former predecessor because people came to him because they went to the school board, they went through their higher ups, they went through the process. And what did they do? They didn't get help. BISD has a culture of negligence, has a culture of these type of situations happening, and nothing gets done about it. Again, chat, I posed the question. Correct me if I'm wrong. When is the last time we heard of a school district employee being arrested for these accusations? When's the last time? They get reassigned. They get moved. They lose their license. No lo vuelves a hacer. I wish I got that when I sent that D-pic. No, me fuera evitado una bronca, hombre. But why? The question is why? Why me? El que nada debe, nada teme. Bring on Farley, Mr. Trevino. My platform is yours. If you want to talk about it, I can bring in Kay Hollywood because she says that she knows you and that you know who she is. If you think that I'm trying to defame your Farley Trevino name, let's talk about it. You ran on a platform that stated that you are for the kids. But how so? Again, you want to sue me for posting something that a victim is sharing? Go right ahead, brother. Llévate mis 2 pesos. No pasa nada. Let's see. We just got a. Oh damn. Okay, well, this is for tomorrow's story. Thank you so much for sending this to me. Damn, this is bad. Again, if y'all think that I'm getting kicks out of this, if y'all think that I'm freaking doing this because I'm trying to get views and stuff, nah, hombre, tan locos. Again, if you haven't done it already, make sure you follow my Facebook page. Make sure you go to my YouTube channel. Damn, this is damning. Mañana se va a poner. How about other coaches? Elizabeth, Porter, Lopez, Pace, veterans. Again, I have the benefit, and again, I'm very thankful. I'm very thankful that people do reach out to me and share sensitive information, because at the end of the day, they feel as if those in leadership positions at the school board, at the schools, aren't meeting their needs, aren't solving their problems, and I'm very thankful that they do that. And one thing, Elizabeth, one thing that we have heard because of our post on Sunday night was that there's others down the line. I have heard of Porter, and it's at the top guy. It's not, no, it's the AC, según. We've heard of teachers from Porter. You know, Hosas, not just coaches, it's teachers as well. I'm getting messages. Hi, Frankie. I would like to remain anonymous since I am a mom and an educator now. I never spoke up about it, but in 2016, I was groomed by XYZ. I was going through a lot that time. I was in a very abusive relationship and I wanted out. And so XYZ got close to me and I told him I should report to PD what was happening. We got close, and let's just say it went further than just messaging. I know what his mother's house looks like inside and out. I believe everything he would say, and I was just stupid. I never said anything, but I know there's been more girls, not just me. Why is it me, chat? And again, Carlos Elizondo, Farley Trevino, AOBE, they campaigned and they say, oh, Erasmo. Erasmo was investigated by Homeland Security, ladies and gentlemen. They went through all his electronic devices, and what did they find? A big fat wiener dog. Nothing. Sylvia Atkinson, Minerva Peña, Prissy Roca Tipton. And who was the other one? There was one more. But they were throwing Erasmo's name into the mud. And then look, AOB's own candidate who was campaigning on, I'm for the children, I'm for the students. I will fight. I'm a coach. I'm a fight for them. I know I'm a good fighter. Soy buen para fight. Nah, hombre. What have we learned from BISD? What have we learned from different experiences that we've heard about, Janet? That things get swept under the rug. And people, after a while, they say, you know what? Enough is enough. I'm shocked. I got a call on Monday, actually, when I was in the program, when I was live. It was live with Louis. If you haven't tuned in, watch Monday's episode. Louis Tijerina, a rising star. This guy is, I don't want to blow smoke, but this guy's a genius to me. If you haven't already, make sure you watch that. He talks about Brownsville and what's going to happen in Brownsville. But during that program, I got a call. I didn't answer it, of course, but that person reached out to me and they said, hey, you're going to talk about this, right? And I was like, well, I don't know, delicate issues. I am going to address it. I'm just finding a way. He's like, no. You better talk about this. I have a 15-year-old daughter. And if that happened to my daughter, beep, 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 beep. And again, I don't condone violence. But if someone hurts your loved one, especially your baby girl, I could understand. We're human, right? We all have a breaking point, don't we? Again, we will show how this goes back to 2016. So that's 10 years. Let's say 10 years. I'm basing myself off of 10 years. Glenda, Miss Ayala, is stating that it goes back longer, 20 years. She states it continues to be. I remember in my time at Rivera back in 05, 06, administrators were dating classmates. And those administrators are still employed there. Shaking my head. Ladies and gentlemen, if you think that I'm trying to blow smoke up you and say that this is big. This, after all this said and done, based on my information that I have received and the people that I have talked to, it's big. It's a systematic problem that we have at BISD. Why isn't nothing being done about this? And I'm talking former, current soup. I'm talking former, current administrators. I'm talking former and current school board members. 20 years. And again, if Glenda, if Miss Ayala as a student knew this, don't you think others did? What I'm gathering from all this, ladies and gentlemen, is that it's bad. We have titled our Friday segment, "It's a Cesspool." You better tune in, eh? And I know you will, porque todos, man, my phone been blowing up like the pizza man. They're like, hey, Frank, hey, yeah, we got. Take it easy. One step at a time. But on Friday's show, we'll talk about how Rivera is a cesspool. And it's not me saying it. Again, I'm only as good as my facts. I could invent things left and right, but if I don't have facts to show y'all, my word is meaningless. And individuals that have been following our program ever we started in 01. We ventured out on our own with Good Morning Brownsville in 01. Whenever we come to you, we have our ducks lined up. We have our information. It's been corroborated with. We have the facts. So best believe that what we talk about is real. Again, I don't find joy in coming on to you, coming before you and talking about these things. But have you heard those 25 individuals that want to replace Erasmo Castro on the school board? Have you heard from them? Have you heard from the current school board? And look, we understand, right? You know, the assumptions of innocence. We have a judicial system that innocent until proven guilty. But these are kids. And parents are upset. Parents are worried. The individual that was groomed is saying, I'm a mom and I'm an educator. This is true what you're saying. And people want to sue me. Nah, hombre, chat. Nah, hombre, chat. We want a live press conference. Let the people bombard BISD administration. Don't hide behind a paper. Who signed this letter, Hinojosa? We're going to show, and we're going to call out board members tomorrow, that they were part of the problem while they've been screaming and shouting and saying, oh, I'm fighting for you, I'm fighting for you. They were negligent in telling you that in their own backyard, which is Rivera High School, all this mess was happening. And what happens? Oh, now they're addressing it. Now they're posting on the fake Facebook pages, right? How convenient. How convenient. It's time to show our faces, ladies and gentlemen. And that is what the victims have been doing And I'm happy for it. I'm happy for it because at the end of the day, they need closure. I worked, or I heard of a story that an individual said, we understand that things happen in life. You know, some have it good, some have it bad, some have it worse. But the key thing about life is that we have to either lo tenemos que superar. We have to progress. We have to be better than what we have. We have to want better. And an individual that was victimized, she said, I was a victim. I'm no longer a victim. I do not want to live my life with that clout, blaming myself for this. She said, I chose not to be a victim anymore. I chose to turn this around. And instead of having those individuals having that power over me, they don't have that control over me. That's what they just sent me, chat. Why are people talking about this now? Is it Frankie that's making this up? No. So, Mr. Farley, please share. Sue me. No pasa nada, dog. I'll bring Kay Hollywood to talk and said, hey, a lo agarras. Oh, but now it's a problem, board members. Now that the community is talking about it. Oh, yes, we're working on it. Yes. Ah, sí. Oh, un problema. No, está cabrón. No. Now it's an issue. Now it's embarrassing for Farley's family and his co-workers and the X amount of years that he had in the school district to be tarnished by these accusations, these allegations. And she says, he knows who I am. I was afraid. I have kids now. I'm not afraid anymore. I remember asking that kid later on the week why Farley was upset. He said he didn't know, but he told me that Farley apologized for screaming, using put downs, and using colorful language against him. It's very sad, ladies and gentlemen, whenever we have an entity and as powerful as big as BISD that has an enrollment of 30 some thousand students. Now I guess we could understand why individuals are leaving BISD. Do you blame them? When's the last time, chat? When's the last time that we heard of an educator being arrested? When's the last time? I spoke to a family that stated that, hey, the teacher admitted to it, that they took her to the DA's office. She made a statement. And one would think, no, hombre, lock the door, ya se la fregaron. No. She just lost her license. No lo vuelvas a hacer. No, That's the system that we're fighting against, which is BISD. That's the culture, ladies and gentlemen, that we're dealing with. Again, I do not have the resources that the likes of BISD, a $500 million entity has. But hey, if you want, I'll go down swinging, chat. Again, I want people to remember me. I want to go out on my shield. I'm not going to be a yes person. I'm not going to be. And if those people say, oh, no, the super has to make a statement before I make a statement. Nah, shut up. Get the hell out of here. Essentially, what's happening is that individuals are condoning this. Are you okay with your school district sweeping things under the rug? I pose you the question, chat. When's the last time you heard somebody being arrested? Where's their mugshots? Brownsville Hood News stated that there was a teacher that was arrested. Why is it Brownsville Hood News that is reporting that and not BISD and not school board members and not KVEO and all these so-called news medias? You're hearing it from Good Morning Brownsville. We're going to you live. Nosotros damos la cara a nuestra comunidad. Nosotros estamos dispuestos a luchar. We're willing to do that, chat. Is this a system? Is this judicial system failing us? Is our law enforcement officials failing us? Is our school failing us? Because again, you send your kids to church and school thinking that those are the safest places that you could send them. Unfortunately, what have we seen? The total opposite. Corruption is rampant in BISD. If you think that your board members are doing a good job, get off my page. We want more. We want people to be vocal. Where are those 25 people trying to take over Erasmo's spot? Shame on you, each and every one of you. And I'll call you out to your face. Say something. My platform is yours. You want to talk about it? Let's talk. I'll give you the floor. You address the community. At the end of the day, that's what you signed up for, right? You signed up to take over Erasmo's spot and you're not willing to fight. You're not willing to be vocal. Nambre. All of them are pieces of crap. Interesting. Maybe that profile will be talked about soon. No more cover-ups, chat. We demand transparency. If our leaders, if those individuals that are able to help us, if they don't, let's do it ourselves, baby. Let's ask those tough questions. Let's talk about the important issues. At the end of the day, someone always told me, you don't mess with my money and you don't mess with my kids. It's alarming for me to receive these messages and say, it's true. It's sad to report that we will be showing tomorrow about a hostile environment at Rivera High School that, according to a former comment, a former post that stated this went on 20 years ago. Saludos, Anónimo. Gracias por estar aquí entre nosotros. Nope, they let her. She literally confessed y nada. That's what I'm trying to wrap my head around. Maybe because it was a female teacher that they said, it's not that bad. But this teacher literally went to the district attorney's office. She made a statement. And the worst thing that happened to her was she lost her license. What about the child? Doesn't matter if he's male or female. The trauma, the embarrassment. What about them? Don't they matter, BISD? Don't they matter to you, 25 candidates that submitted an application to replace Erasmo Castro on that seat? It's very telling when you have Brownsville Hood News, Susan for the People, be outspoken about these issues. The city of Brownsville is, the tides are changing. I feel people have been a lot more, they've wanted to be more vocal, more outspoken about this, that enough is enough. We will show the culture at Rivera being hostile. And again, this is one example, ladies and gentlemen. Just one. What about the other schools? And again, I hate to sound this way, but if it happens at the high school, you know it happens at the middle school, and unfortunately at the elementary, a place where our children are very vulnerable. It's tough. It's tough whenever you have these outcries fall on deaf ears. Martinez, is it to where it's a money thing? I care more about the money than the livelihood, safety, well-being of those children that I was entrusted to protect? Again, something has to happen about this. The fortunate thing for the district is that summer's around the corner, but something needs to happen. BISD is pinned against the wall due to the decline. I don't know how many texts and emails I've received to move my kids to IDEA. I've had an experience with my own daughter that I want to talk to the principal, and the principal laughed at me when I asked why my child was isolated. And that was the communication that they gave. We should demand more from our local representatives. We should ask for transparency, demand transparency. That's funny because they all use that word, right? That was something that Farley talked about. I'm going to be transparent. Well, Farley, fuck, man. I don't know if you want to go that route, porque pues, si dices que eres transparent, pues te va a ir mal, bro. Porque aquí tenemos una acusación en su contra. So, usted me dice, compa. Do you have faith in leadership? Do you have faith in your board members? We're going to show tomorrow how individuals, that's their backyard, and they did nothing. But now they're making us think about it. It's too late. You had your chance. You had your chance. But why don't you come forward? Because people do not want to cause waves. People don't want to. You think people want to be a one tenured politician? No, all they look at the yes or no. Erasmo Castro was a very unique candidate. Many people doubted his last race. There's no way he's going to win. And what happened? The will of the people. We need to get individuals on that board that are going to be our voice. What, you thought those individuals that are currently right now, you think they're there to help you, to protect you? Or are they there for their own benefit? It speaks volumes, chat, whenever you have someone such as me with the limited resources, with no resources, estoy pobre. And look at what we brought upon. We brought upon attention to a very serious issue that has been plaguing this particular school for 20 years. And we're going to keep addressing these issues. We're going to be talking about this. What, you think a lawsuit's going to stop me? Ay, me va a demandar. No, no. Idiot. Again, if you allow me to, chat, I will gladly come on before you Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. and talk about what's important to you. Talk about the safety and well-being of your children. We're up against a fight that it seems as if we're going up against a monster, which is BISD. Heck yeah, you don't mess with my grandkids, but I have to say some coaches at Porter have been very good to my kids. And again, this isn't something, again, I'm not here to bash people, ladies and gentlemen. My job isn't to, I don't wake up and say, oh, I'm going to bash these people. No, I don't. I don't. But it's something that I'm willing to do, that I'm willing to fight, that I'm willing to be vocal. And if that causes me to lose followers, if that causes me people to make memes about me, to talk about my D pic and I don't know what, I'll take it as a badge of honor, ladies and gentlemen. Parents need to talk to their kids and ask. Last night the boys came home and wanted to talk to me about this. This is the chatter in the city. This is the chatter at the barbershop. This is the chatter at all these schools. You don't think we have a high viewership right now? Let me check how many people have viewed this. For y'all people that doubt me, mira, les voy a enseñar. I have 1.4 thousand viewers right now that have tuned in. You don't think administration is watching? You don't think those people that created that 2-paragraph statement are watching? You don't think Rivera's watching? Heck yeah, dog. But again, we'll talk about these issues. We'll bring to light of what's going on. You may not like it, Farley. I defamation. Idiot. Now when it's embarrassing to your family and to you. Now it's an issue, right? Thank you, Frankie and Brownsville Hood, for shedding light about this. I'm with you. I need each and every one of you support. Again, if you want somebody to lead the way, hey, bro, here's my platform. Let's do it. Vámonos. And if that means that I'm going to catch a lot of heat, if I'm going to go through it, no pasa nada. At least people will know who the hell I am. Whenever I die, I want them to say, no, hombre, ese vato, mis respetos. I don't want to be a yes person. I don't want to go with the grain. I don't want to go and no, I want to cause waves. I want to bring to light. I want to give my people what we deserve, a voice, the opportunity to bring about the change that we so desperately need in the city of Brownsville, and in this case, in BISD. I don't find joy in this, ladies and gentlemen. I don't. I'm embarrassed by this. El Cruz Azul, la máquina. Hey, man, we got to go to Mexico City. Ya me animé. Let me know. I'm sure it happens at IDEA as well, but it's hush hush. It happens everywhere. Again, we have somebody that was at Rivera High School 20 years ago. She says this is an ongoing issue. It's always about the money, Martinez. How much of the board making? I'm sad. It's always about the money. I miss Erasmo. I miss him dearly. But I hope that y'all remember him through me. Again, his trajectory in being a champion for the community was that of 15 years. And in those 15 years, he amassed a lot of hate. But one thing that he was always focused on is being transparent, being a fighter, being a champion for the community. I want individuals, whenever they say, who the hell is that Frank Olivo guy? Who the hell is that Frank Olivo guy? Es sobrino de Erasmo. Man, to me, that's everything. He's the reason why I do Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. I miss him too, Arellano. Because he thought he could never be found out or exposed. That's the culture that we're dealing with at Rivera High School. We need all new members on the board, all out new blood. All they're doing is just taking money under the table, doing the compadre system. All members must go now because of this, all of them, and get you in office. People are afraid to stand up. People are scared of retaliation. It's real, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to be retaliated against this. That will be like my black eye that I'll be proud of, my shiner that I'm proud of. Thank you so much, Joanna Gutierrez, for the love. I appreciate you. It is with people like you and others that come together. Again, my platform is for the will of the people. If you let me, I will be there asking those tough questions. Together, we can make Brownsville better. We can make BISD, the city of Brownsville, Cameron County, a better community. I thank you so much for the love and the kindness. I hope to see you here every day. Thank you so much. Imbecile. Yeah, that's what we used to say. Well, I'm trying my best. When Raul Besteiro was super and his cousin was in office, they weren't allowed to be on the board because they were related. Love you later. Dr. Besteiro went to, because they should not be back. The policy, no blood related, nothing compadrismo, nothing about the love. Maybe the old days were better. David went up against Goliath. So why don't we go up against them? Let's do it, Mingo Patty. Thank you so much, Mingo Patty. I know you've been around since we started. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. What you're doing is opening up our eyes so we can see the whole truth and nothing but the truth. This is a David and Goliath story. How will our story read? Will we be victorious? Will we be those Davids that are fighting against BISD, that Goliath? Do you want change on that school board? Do you demand change on that school board? Say it loud and clear. Tell them. Frankie, sigue la legacy del tío. Dale duro. I'm trying my best. Thank you so much, Rudy, for your time. So it's okay to be woke on this, because this has been a pattern in every school board across the country for decades. It really has. Ruby is 70. It was called the N-word, racism. Ya están grandes. How could we feel as parents? Not saying kids are safe at the other districts, but come on, bro. Like, how can you trust these teachers as parents? Do we have to sit in with our kids? And not a word from the city of Brownsville leadership or our school district. Jose, they don't let us sit in class. Frankie, what you're doing is making a real difference. For the first time, students are having honest conversations with their parents at the kitchen table about what's happening at school. That's powerful, amigo. We deserve to have the peace of mind that whenever we send our loved ones to school, that their safety and well-being will be addressed. It's important for us to address these issues, talk about these issues. Again, do you have those 25 candidates that are wanting to replace Erasmo Castro being vocal about it? No, screw them, each and every one of them. I'll tell it to their face. I don't care. We'll be your voice. We'll be your champion, as long as you let me, chat. Because at the end of the day, I'm only as strong as y'all will let me. But if you give me the opportunity, I promise you, this mic will make waves. The glass palace will be shaking, will be reverberating. You want a place on the seat of whatever government entity we run for? Be part of the cause. Tune in every day, Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. You better subscribe to my channel. If you don't, I'm going to sue you. Who do I sound like? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. I have production in my ear. We have gone over 16 minutes. We will be paying a hefty fine. But at the end of the day, it is all worth it. As long as my community gives me the opportunity to be in front and lead the way and be vocal and talk about these important issues. I don't care what people say about me. I don't care what people talk about me. You want to make memes about me? You want to make posts about me? It's okay. I'll take it as a badge of honor. I am only as strong as you let me. Help me help you. My name is Frankie Olivo, and this is Good Morning Brownsville. It is Wednesday, May 14th. Thank you so much for your time and your attention. Tune in tomorrow. It's going to be a very, very interesting show. You might be shocked, but unfortunately, you might not. Thank you so much for your time and your attention. Hope to see you whenever I see you. Peace.